don't do it normally, try to do this in the middle of your work. No, that's a good deal, but
then I was supervisor, so I got breaks every hour and a half,
okay.
and I get to,
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So in any job during the day, this is a beautiful thing to do. We just stop and we feel ourselves. And we can feel how stressed we may be at one certain point, and we're not even aware of it. So it tells us, okay, take it. Okay, it's going to happen. This is a beautiful practice to do every day. Just 5 minutes. All my teachers in India meditate. I got to India and somebody talked to me about her. So he contacted her and she invited me to go to her home. So I went. And I was asking her to teach me Ayurveda in Gurukula. Gurukula means one-on-one. And she was asking me questions and trying to figure out if she was going to, devote her time to me. Okay. And then she asked, do you meditate? And I said, yeah. And she said, how often? And I said, well, pretty much every day. And she said, good. Because if you don't meditate, you will never become a good Ayurvedic practitioner. At that time, I didn't understand the full implication of what she was referring to. I know it because of the pulse, that's why I'm talking to you. Mm-hmm. What I understand now is that if you don't meditate, it will be impossible for you to ever understand the pulse and get the information from the pulse. It requires that you are in that same vibration in order to see what's happening and get the messages. So meditation is paramount to that. It's very important. So if you don't have a regular meditation practice, it's important to start one. It can be anything, any meditation. It can be from yoga, it can be from mindfulness, it can be from Buddhist, it doesn't matter. But to allow us this time to get in there. Okay? Important. So let's start with Dinacharya. Dinacharya. Charya, regimen. Dina, daily, the daily regimen. Why do we do Dinacharya? That's the first question. Why are we going to learn all the stuff that we have to do every single day? Why? What do you think Dinacharya brings to us? Why? Routine. Why is this important?
It brings stability.
Great word. Stability. Brings stability, because otherwise what happens? Because one of the problems with our society is that we are not fully in embodiment. We are living up here all the time. An animal goes through some trauma and they seem to go through that and continue with their lives. We stay in that trauma, in those circumstances, and we're constantly living up in that space, and we're never really embodied. So routine brings us this stability, this balance that allows us to understand that what we are. It's basic mindfulness again. It's all about mindfulness and getting back to mindfulness. by doing dinacharya, we align ourselves with nature, with the cycles of nature. We have completely, unfortunately, we have completely lost that. We don't follow any of that. We're indulging so much in other aspects of life, mostly kama and artha, demonizing kama and artha, and it's not that, but we are overindulging in them. This ritual of TV watching, and I have nothing against TV, but this TV watching prime time that you end up going to bed very late, and then you have late night programs, David Letterman and all that they have such big following, and you end up going to bed by midnight, 1 a.m., whatever, this is detrimental. This goes against nature. We go to bed, 2 or 3 hours after dusk, and we get up before dawn, as we're going to see, okay? The moment we don't eat at the same time every day or as close as possible, then our digestive system will go crazy. We'll start having digestive problems. We need to give our body and our mind direction so it feels safe and secure and stable and balanced. That's why we do all this. It's very different to get up in the morning and start living up in the mind with all the stuff you have to do, that you start doing things that actually are good for you, that make you feel good. The day is completely different. That's why we do so many things in the morning. Now, if we continue that throughout the day with certain parameters that we pay attention to, then we're always remembering about this embodiment, and we're not so much in the head all the time, in the mind. This is the tremendous importance of dinacharya, okay? We know that one of the doshas is prevalent in us. So there are times for the doshas. We're going to see in a minute. So we need to understand that at one time when vata is prevalent, in that time of the day, if we do many vata activities, we're going to derange it. Right? So we have to take that into account. This goes even into the business world. Never schedule a very important meeting at noon if you are Pitta. Because if you haven't had lunch, then you're gonna get hungry and you're gonna kill somebody. In addition to all your Sadaka Pitta going crazy at noon, okay? And never work at night, because Sadaka Pitta will go crazy again with all these ideas and fixing up the whole world, and then you will never go to sleep because you're, fixing up this world and God's mind and everything. In this respect, Ayurveda, we could say that this is a perfect science of lifestyle. This you don't find in many other places. This is they have taken lifestyle to a new level. The tremendous importance of all this. What we're doing in dinacharya is a lot of cleansing techniques as well, because we pick up a lot of dirt during the day, mentally and physically and everything, so we need to get rid of this stuff before we get sick. So it's a daily cleansing, okay, in addition to what Panchakarma may bring to us. And by doing this, somehow we neutralize the effects of time. And time is always taking a toll on us. We cannot just argue with that. This manifestation, this projection of consciousness is kala. Is time, is based on time. If we take out time, that's it. And actually realization is just understanding Kala, going beyond Kala, going beyond time, okay? So, but by doing Ayurveda, we neutralize somehow the effects of time. And you can say people that follow Ayurveda for a long time, they look much younger than other people, okay? And this is basically because of this. And a lot of that is not food, it's dinacharya. It's these rules that make you younger. It's the rules. So let's go one by one. What time do we get up?
6, 5, 6 a.m.
Yes. Brahma. The time of the Lord. Time of Brahma. So, depending on the text, this is between 1 and 2 hours before sunrise. 1, 2 hours. We cannot say 6 or 5 or this or that because it depends what time you're in. So we get up to 1 to 2 hours before sunrise. Why? Because this is the time when there is more sattva in the atmosphere. This is also still part of Vata time. And Vata creates a lot of problems in sleep. So when we get up during Vata time, we just break up that cycle of things. So at this point, we're going to see the cycles of the doshas. So Vata would govern the day from 2 to 6. Pitta from 10 to 2, and Kapha from 6 to 10. So sunrise may be at 6, so we're getting up around 5 or so. So it's the end of the Vata cycle, okay? And we begin the Kapha cycle immediately, which is the time to do cleansing, basically. So most of dinacharya happens during this Kapha time, and it's a perfect time to just cleanse. You know, when you're in Vata, you're not supposed to be cleansing. You're supposed to be nourishing yourself, okay? So Kapha times are normally cleansing times. If you look at the times, in many places it's 3 to 7, not 2 to 6, and you will see books that say 3 to 7. It's because of the time changes, okay? So it depends on that. Everything will be depending to this. So during Vata time, we don't do things that are too hectic, for example. So evidently at night we're sleeping, but during the day, from 2 to 6, Ayurveda says that you are not supposed to engage yourself in a lot of movement or activity. So if you work, whatever you do at work, it would be more advisable to do all this crazy stuff during the morning, which we have more strength and more vitality, and leave that afternoon for, this is a time, remember it's Vata, it's a great time for creativity.
Study.
So this is a time where we can do more creative things. If you work in a company or something, then it's a time we start projecting things and making plans and having maybe these meetings. That would be when, you know, there's a lot of creativity in the atmosphere, a lot of energy going on, okay? If we eat between 2 and 6, then again, be careful because the digestion is about activity. Samana Vayu is going to be very active, and Vyana Vayu and all these things, so we're seeing that there's a lot of activity going on. So if we eat at 3 or something because we catch a late lunch, then we have to be careful what we are eating. We should be pacifying. We should be taking some tea to pacify vata, like a digestive tea afterwards, like ginger or whatever. Okay, so these are things that are important to take into account. Same thing, I was talking about pitta, 10 to 2. Of course, the main meal is here at 12 noon, because that's pitta time. And that's when that guy is up there giving us all the nourishment, nourishing our agnis. Okay, but we don't schedule very intellectual activities, fiery activities at that time. That's why it's not, a lot of pittas like to work at night. They say that's when I work the best. People are working computers, the webmasters and all these guys are always working at night. Why? Because Sadaka Pitta goes at its prime around after 11, okay? So of course they want to work at that time, but they cannot go to sleep because Sadaka Pitta is overactive. So that's why we tell people to go to sleep before 11 as a Pitta. Don't go beyond 11 because Sadaka Pitta is going to just kick in. Oops! Erika, we caught you.
I'm at the gym at that time.
At the gym?
Yeah.
Oh, brother. I have to work on here. We're going to need to do clinical on Erika Francis first.
When do you go to sleep?
Let's not get there. Yeah, let's not get there.
Like at 2 in the morning.
Every day?
Hey.
Monday, Monday to Thursday.
Your kapha is saving you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your kapha is saving you.
Yeah, I can.
If you had more vata, you'll be a
Right.
royal mess.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be a royal mess. So, it's always fun to do dinacharya because people come with all these things. So, we use this time, 10 to 2, not for fiery activities. This is when we take our meal, this is when we take a little nap, we go to bed before this time, okay? If you're getting up at 2, waking up at 2, this is liver time. This is liver, gallbladder, there may be some problems with that, anger, whatever, pitta is very active, okay? Then 3, which is where everybody, wakes up, that's vata time, and that's the nervous system kicking in. Okay, 2:30, 3:30, nervous system kicks in, vata goes high, eyes open, you cannot go back to sleep until around 5, when vata starts diminishing, and kapha comes in, and then you go back to sleep 2 more hours.
And then you can't get up.
And then you can get up, and you get up at 9, and you're a mess, okay? Yes, but this is about a problem, okay? At 2 a.m., 1, 2 a.m. is a pitta problem, okay? So between 6 and 10, what do we do? This is when we have to do more activities, okay? We have the night dinner at the beginning of kapha time normally, then it's recommendable, we will see, to go for a walk, blah, 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 engage in nice activities because it's the night. But in the morning, this is a great time to exercise, of course, because it's kapha time and we have to move it. And normally Ayurveda recommends not to have a big breakfast because normally we have breakfast between this time, which is kapha, and we shouldn't be eating too much during kapha time. Okay? So as you can see, we start working our day through the dosha times. Okay? So, let me see. Let me take a break.